Welcome back to JV Foodie. Did you know that July is National Baked Bean Month? So we're gonna make some baked beans, but we're not going to do them in the oven and make traditional baked beans because it's also hotter than the surface of the sun outside. So let's do them a different way and let's get going. First on the things to do is to dice up half of a whole large onion and get that all nice and choppity chopped into small pieces. After you are done with your diced onions, put those off to the side, and now we need to talk about the bacon. You are going to need 5 slices of bacon, and you want to dice this up pretty finely, and then you're going to set this off to the side as well. Now the next thing I'm going to do is entirely optional. If you already have some pre-made chicken or vegetable broth or stock, go for it, use the pre-made stuff. I'm going to make some broth using bouillon. You are going to need 3 cups or about 700 milliliters of either water, chicken, or vegetable broth. Pick your poison. I'm going to use chicken bouillon, so I have a kettle set to boil and I have that ready to go. I am going to use 3 bouillon cubes because 1 cube is for 1 cup each. So 3 of those cubes are going into a large Pyrex, and then I'm going to add 3 cups of my boiling water to this and give this a good stir, making sure that all the bouillon cube has dissolved and incorporated into the water. Now that we have all of that taken care of, let's get cooking. All right, so per the directions, it says in a large pot, add your diced bacon, diced onion, and garlic. You need 2 cloves of garlic, or like I use 2 teaspoons of pre-minced garlic. And then you are going to saute over medium heat until the bacon is brown and the onion has caramelized. Now, since I decided to make my life harder than it should have been, I did this in a pan in order to put this all into a crock pot. You're going to keep this over medium heat until you start to notice everything get nice and golden brown and caramelized and delicious. This might take a few minutes. I think for me, this took almost 10 for everything to come together. Also, make sure that you stir occasionally as you do this so that you don't have anything sticking to the bottom, and everything that is brown on the bottom is the deliciousness. So make sure you scrape that up and get that into it as well. Now, once we have that initial amount of bacon, onion, garlic cooked up, our beans have been soaked, it's now time to just add everything to the crock pot. First step is going to be that onion, bacon, garlic mixture that we cooked up. That's going to go into the crock pot first, followed by our soaked and cooked Great Northern beans that have been drained. Next to go in is our broth, or if you chose to use water, that works as well, followed by 1 cup or 240 milliliters of ketchup, 1/3 of a cup or 64 grams worth of brown sugar, or to taste if you know you would like your baked beans a little sweeter. Then you are going to need 2 tablespoons or about 40 grams worth of molasses. This stuff is sticky. Use a spatula to make sure you get it all out of the spoon. Next is going to be 1 tablespoon or 15 milliliters of apple cider vinegar. Then I am adding 2 teaspoons or 5.2 grams of smoked paprika, along with a half a teaspoon or 1.4 grams of granulated garlic. Next, you're going to add half a teaspoon or about 2.5 milliliters of Dijon mustard. And then last but certainly not least, a half a teaspoon or 3 grams worth of salt, or more if you know that you're gonna like more salt, or if you're just that person, add more. So the original recipe had you put all of the ingredients together in a pot and then bring to a simmer and reduce to low and then cook for 3 to 4 hours. But then the site did actually say you could add this all to a crock pot and cook for 6 to 8 hours, which is what we did. The results from having it in a crock pot weren't exactly what I was looking for in terms of a baked bean consistency. See, I think of baked beans as being thicker and tackier consistency, like they're supposed to be sweet and kind of gooey almost. That is not what I got. I got a very runny, very wet type of bean. They were really good. They tasted good and they smelt amazing. They just weren't what I was looking for in terms of a baked bean consistency. So, you know how I said I made my life harder than it should have been? They went into a pot. So into my enameled cast iron pot, they went. And I put them over a medium-low heat, probably more medium than low, and I let them simmer for almost 2 hours to allow a lot of that that moisture to evaporate and to allow the beans to thicken up into a consistency that I felt like I was looking for when I think of baked beans. You can see by the end that they're nice and thick and definitely not watery anymore, and that's what I wanted. Time to eat. So on initial taste, these are good. They're like a 6 out of 10 good. I mean, they're more of like a barbecue bean than a baked bean still. It's missing a little bit more sweetness for us. So after debating if we needed more brown sugar or more molasses, my husband decided we needed to add maple syrup to it. So that's what we did. We gave it a good drizzle, we stirred it in, and what do you know, this was like the missing ingredient, like that maple bacon sweet flavor that you get from a baked bean. Here we are. It was delicious. Much better, like a 9 out of 10. So my suggestion to you is this is a good starting base recipe, and then tinker with it. Add some more brown sugar, maybe add some maple syrup. Do what you want to make it taste even better, but like maple syrup was just a little like cherry on top. So I hope you enjoy July and National Baked Bean Month. Don't turn on your oven. It's too hot outside. Let's not do that to ourselves. And I will see you next time. Bye.